All right, so I thought it'd be pretty fun if we take a look and talk about it because I also wanted to make this too like a tall series, the tall series. We can contribute this to the tall series, the truth about pro wrestling. This could be an episode because regarding the situation and seeing that this is Chris Jericho and how big of a situation this news how it is. I mean, it can only be it can be a video for itself. And that how we gotta click back here. I tried to find the reactions as far as for the reactions. I tried to see if I can find anything that sticks out. I don't know. Let me see. It's probably already. Let me see if I can. Let me do it a different way, because I don't think. Wait a minute. Oh, I think okay. Let me see right here because I wanted to read some of the reactions before I chimed in. So yeah, we all want Chris Jericho. Let me just say it first, because the tribal, of course, especially when it comes, I guess in general, but in this case with when we talk about the social media, wrestling, Twitter, however you want to guard it, or just pop culture in general, just like the tribalism from both, how AEW as usual, the AEW cuckolds just absolutely resenting Chris Jericho, and then WWE just welcome him in open arms. Oh my gosh, bro! Never can never get enough. We want Chris Jericho back in WWE. Again, I speak for all of us. The return pop Chris Jericho will receive from the WWE audience will be generational. Whether you welcome Chris Jericho back to WWE or not, one thing's for sure: dude had the greatest debut of all time. Yeah, that's facts. Chris Jericho just posted his return at the Royal Rumble on his TikTok. So I would love Chris Jericho. I thought that was Rob Van Dam for a second. I would love Chris Jericho to come back to WWE. He should put on even more fat than before and drink a little bit of the bubbly. Oh my gosh. If you don't like Chris Jericho as a wrestler, I get it. If you don't like his politics, I get it. But if you don't like him as a person, I also get it. I'm like, what? That Chris Jericho 2026 DLC pack is going to hit different. He also made a little post. He also made a little WWE nostalgia post. It's like him and Pat Patterson, Lita, Rock, Stacy Keibler. Honestly, it's on his page. All to see it. Okay. Wait. Wait. I don't see him anywhere. There he is. He's in the back of Pat Patterson. Looks like it's from 2001, or 2000, 2002, yeah. All right, well, that's pretty much when it comes to this how the wrestling social media or wrestling Twitter or whatever is reacting. The wrestling world is reacting to Chris Jericho and his potential return to WWE, and I'll give him the fact because. Honestly, especially personally, when you look at especially the last few years of his wrestling career, it hasn't been good. I mean, you could even the fact to bring up AEW would be nonsensical in itself. But to see your return. I don't know how I would really feel about a return, a Chris Jericho return to WWE in 26. Well, would it be any different from when he was in AEW? The last few years of his career, because I would also argue that not only we're talking about how Chris Jericho hasn't even been he hasn't been even the same performer since I would argue since 2010. He hasn't been his best at all in a very long time. As far as that, especially when the second time he came to WWE, as far during that when it was that 07 to 2010 is when that was to where we was looking, this is he's giving his best shit ever. This is literally like the best that we've seen Chris Jericho is when he came back in '07 and he started on that crazy run. And when you look at, because he's still, I mean, he was somewhat still decent when he came, like, and then you, like, when you get to, like, his diminishing returns and everything, which became, when he came back, 2012, and he was like on, you know, hey, look at, yeah, I'm smiling, and whatever the fuck he was doing, yeah, like, when he first, yeah, like, came to lightning jackets and smiling and shit. Cause I would deny, cause like this is like the first, like, cause as I said, I was like, this was like where the early PG was like somewhat of a decent caliber, and like the stuff he was doing, obviously with Punk, that was still good, that was still some great stuff, him and Punk, and when you get to that, and with Dolph Ziggler, and probably a couple of other guys I'm missing, but yeah, and as you just get to a point to where now it's just is a joke, and where he's just like Fandango, that whole spiel, and like 2013, 15, where he was just doing the absolute just nonsensical shit, I mean, because by that point, of course, I mean, like for Jericho himself, he was like I said. By this point, I mean, especially too in ring, to where he got to a point to where, of course, like he's not as he's not as agile and as athletic as he was. Of course, being that he was older, but of course, I mean, it's not to say because he was still doing, of course, and that was like. Because he was still funny, and he was still doing some great shit. Because I like the whole list stuff, and you just made the list. You just made the list, like because he was still doing some great work, and it's not because that's because that was always a part of his arsenal too. The fact that Jericho was entertaining, he had a character. He had personality, he had charisma. I mean, the Isle of Tuola, right? Like this, like Jericho was, like I said, like being that, it will always go down. Being him was one of the greatest of all time. Like he was one of the guys that really, why I've got into professional wrestling, why I'm a professional wrestling fan. Even if he's probably not, because I say that's for sure one of the top, the greatest list, and he's like one of my favorites, if not, but if for sure, it's like, but like, of course, when you get to a point now, we get to like, he's like, I wouldn't get to point like to where he like, you get to where he, the last few years, what he's done, his career, him being in AEW. Because I mean, I've heard stories about how, of course, you hear the stories, the rumors now, especially like how of how him and Triple H didn't get along at all. They didn't like each other. They even have a bit of a heated feud with each other. Like of course, the politics, behind the scenes and everything is he even, I mean, of course, the whole thing is like him talking about it too. That's very documented of him. Even though Triple H wasn't with China beyond that point, I believe, because I feel like he was starting to date Stephanie or whatever. Because they him and China started to fall. Was pretty much by that point they fell through. Their relationship fell through. Even though he was still beefing with China. Pretty sure they was probably kind of still at that, was still friends though. But like how he just Jericho and China had a bit of a didn't get along either. It's like there's even a shoot. I'm not that well as in regards to that too. I like there's even a shoot interview of him really bashing the shit out of Triple H and him really talking shit. I mean. This is the same guy that also, we're talking about Triple H. This is the same thing that he had with Punk, and their like really tumultuous feud and relationship that just they had were really chaotic with each other, and especially I mean, you could argue that Triple H had that with a number of guys, not just his backstage role, his professional role, but like even him as a wrestler. And Jericho was no question. I mean, I'm not surprised, but him being like Jericho, being one of those OGs, just having to of him just not having the best relationship with Triple H. But he probably especially now, they probably sit back just like with Punk. They probably sit back and laugh with it because at the end of the day, all anybody cares about is money. And when that comes into play, especially what they've done with Punk and everything, and how the landscape has been able to especially with AEW and how that's helped in that regard, how they've helped in that regard. I would definitely see and seemingly how Chris Jericho has taken it. Wouldn't be surprised if he's gone. If he was open, because he is really open to going back to WWE. But like I said, I really don't see the difference in him being however many that he has left in while coming back to WWE. Ultimately, how it's been will be any different from how when he was in or how when currently now last or when he was in the AEW. I just don't, because you just look at wrestling now currently, and whether it's from both AEW or WWE or however, just professional wrestling in the landscape of currently in this time, it's not good at all. Nothing is what you can look at unless in regard, because fanboys, tribalism, they can say whatever they want you to believe. Even the industries itself, they can make you believe what they want. Professional wrestling is not the way it used to be many years ago, and it's not on the popularity and not a part of pop culture that they desperately want you to believe that it's been at for many years ago. It's not. The product is horrendously bad. It's a fucking embarrassment. Nothing about anything right now, what makes its interest levels is entertaining. Nothing is must-see TV, and that's the best way I can put it about professional wrestling. So for damn sure, nothing tickles my jiggles about a Chris Jericho return, especially when it can practically be the same shit that has been in AEW when that he's been in AEW since 2019, and especially the last few years of him being in AEW. It's like absolute trash. So I really don't expect anything I really don't at all. But we would probably still have to see, or let's see how it plays out if that potential return, if he came back to WWE. To definitely see how it is. But as I said, I don't see the difference with a Chris Jericho being in WWE for like a last time run or anything like that, as in regards to how he's been perceived in AEW.